Alright, hello everybody, this is Lazy Rider 56. Welcome back to the channel. It's a gorgeous fall day. 72 degrees on a Sunday in November. Kind of windy, but it's really nice. I even got my mesh jacket on today. So we're going to go for a little ride today, and I'm going to have some thoughts about retirement. So far, what I've noticed in retirement, expectations versus reality. So I just wanted to spend a few minutes and talk about that. All right, get through that little intersection there. All right, before I do mention anything about retirement, I do want to make sure everybody understands one thing. It's coming from a point of gratitude. I understand that in some ways I've been very lucky. I was able to work for many years at a single employer. Oh, we got a siren here. Okay, got an ambulance coming up on my left back there. But for many years I was able to work at a single employer where I had some job security that enabled me to save and invest my money. And I'm going to stop it right here just for a second, let this get around this ambulance. Okay, now we're back. I'm sorry. An ambulance I'm sure was pretty loud, so I wanted to hold off till that ambulance got by. But anyway, it's coming from a point of gratitude where I got lucky in a sense that I did work at a place. I had pretty steady job security, and like I said, it enabled me to save up and invest my money, which unfortunately for a lot of people, they don't get that opportunity. For various reasons, either personal, financial, medical, they're not able to retire, or retirement's forced on them at a time they're not really ready for it. So I am very grateful for it in that regard. But the point I want to make is this, is my expectations of what I thought retirement would look like and what came out of it so far, 3.5 months into it, have been different in a good way. So, for example, when I started thinking about retirement 2 or 3 years ago, I started planning it out, there was two main concerns I had. One was the financial, and one was, am I going to get bored? Now, the financial part, you're able to plan for that to a degree. You can say, okay, here are my expenses, this is what I think they're going to look like. I think they're going to look like this. This is kind of what my returns might be like. Things like that. You can sort of plan that out. But the other area of retirement I was worried about is just, what am I going to do with myself? How am I going to spend my days? I actually sort of envisioned myself after 2 months of retirement and being bored out of my mind, going back and getting a job, maybe part-time somewhere. But I thought that was how it was going to play out. But in actuality, I've had a lot to do. I've kept busy. You know, obviously I ride my motorcycle, and starting this channel has taken up a lot of my time in a good way, meaning I've had to learn about the camera, how to work it, editing, filters, all that kind of stuff. Also been learning guitar over the last 3 years, and now I'm able to finally get in and do some steady practicing where I couldn't do that before. I work out 5 days a week, or try to work out 5 days a week, and all that keeps me busy. I've been very surprised how fast the days go by. I've also got a couple other things I want to work on. I like to go target shooting. I got some handguns, and I like to go to the range and shoot. I haven't been able to do that in a while because the range near here closed down, and the nearest range is about 45 minutes away. Oop, let me get this car here. But anyway, that's something I want to get back into. Also, there's various projects around my house and around my yard I want to do. I gotta admit, on those I've been sort of slack. But maybe I can, I will try to find time to work on those and accomplish those goals. So the expectation of my retirement was going to be boredom. What am I going to do with myself? To actually finding out I'm keeping myself much busier than I thought I would be, and I'm enjoying it. So again, coming from a place of gratitude, I'm really enjoying my retirement so far. Things might change. I may have to, who knows what the future holds, but so far, I'm really enjoying it, and it's turning out to be one of the best decisions I've ever made. I'm way happier now, and now again, I'm grateful. Oh, holy cow, that strip just fell right off. All right, I'm gonna cut it right here. I gotta find a place to pull over and fix that. Okay, now we're back. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep that strip off completely. I think it was mostly decorative. It's been wanting to come off. I'll be riding around and the top will start flopping around, and I'll stop and fix it, and it'll go for a while, but that thing's just gotten looser and looser, and it's really just decorative anyway. I'm just gonna leave it off. But the point I was making about retirement has just been way busier than I thought it was going to be. I thought it'd be boring, nothing to do, but I've really been surprised how well I've been able to keep myself busy, in a good way. So, again, I can't speak for everybody. I'm just only talking about my experience and just how what's happened with me personally. I'm not here to give anybody retirement advice. It's too of an retirement's too individualistic. Everybody's situation's different. Everybody's financials are different. So any advice from me is probably just not going to work out for a lot of people. The situations are different. But, well, I have my own opinions about a lot of advice you see, especially out there on YouTube and TikTok and all that. There's a lot of people peddling advice, and I've got my own opinions about that, and that might be a subject for another video. Well, I'm going to wrap this up for now. I know you're tired of hearing me blab, so we're gonna go out and we're gonna enjoy this ride. So let's have at it, shall we? Had a little detour there, stopped and got some gas, and didn't really need it, but thought, might as well go ahead and get the gas now. That way I don't have to fool with it on my next ride. And just, have you ever had one of those days riding a motorcycle where just everything is off? Your You're starting from a stop is not smooth. Your down shifting is not smooth. Your braking is not smooth. Today's been one of those days. It's been a great ride as far as weather, but just my whole timing feels off. Of course, that stripping around the windshield coming off kind of messed me up probably mentally, but it's just one of those days. I can't explain it, but they happen, and you just got to ride through them, and then the next ride goes around and everything seems to come back to normal. But on a day like this, when you're riding, enjoy it the best you can. Understand it's just one of those days where you're just off for some reason. Your timing is off. You're just not as smooth. All right, let's I think it's a good spot to go ahead and wrap it up. Despite my lack of riding skills today, it was a fun ride, and I appreciate everybody for joining me on this beautiful fall day. This is Lazy Rider 56. Thanks for joining me. Like and subscribe. Have a great day.